To another Voice of Nick show. We're doing more of our Posthomerica art here. And now we're gonna finish this picture. The last few streams have been just ending, outside of my control way earlier than intended. But that doesn't stop me from continuing to work on the stuff, so I'm not really sure what you guys have last seen, but what we're up to now is the point where I basically remade the composite for this picture so that we can do our up-to-date weathering techniques. We had already weathered this, but in a way that I was not really satisfied with at the time, so or that I was satisfied with when I made it, but then I'm no longer satisfied with, I guess. So I'm just putting these little, very slight cracks, like we did with the Heracles picture. I think I want to change the color of them too. Good. And this just really just adds a tiny little thing to the scene, but in my opinion, it adds something pretty important. Why can't I get this to show up? Oh, the ink is turned down. There we go. And I just figure all the cracks are coming from one direction. I don't really know the logic in it. Maybe there's some kind of distress that was coming from a particular spot. But I like the idea that there's this kind of paradigm that happens when you're looking at these pieces of pottery where a crack will go all the way through only one of the colors, but it'll jump the outline. I don't really know how that's possible, but it's a very sort of evocative look, so I want to try and get that. Alright, so this, we want to get a color here for this. Yeah. So like we have this concept where the colors are bleeding out of the yellow, so that yellow kind of like exists outside of the lines, which is just an effect that we want to do to evoke like the weathering. But then we also want to do the same with the color for the apple and the arrow. All right, good. Welcome the Gunny Show to the show. We are making our book illustrations at the moment. Good to see you. What have you been up to? All right, that's pretty much all we need for that. Now we have this layer, and we want to add a slightly darker version. We could go darker or lighter, but I don't think it matters. Aha. That's basically all we need right there. Gunny Show saying, I too am doodling. Is this on iPad? Yeah, I'm doing it on Photoshop iPad, which I'm not that familiar with, but I'm really enjoying learning. This whole project has been like the first, big thing I've really tried to do on iPad Photoshop or on digital art in general. And I've been having a good time with it. What are you drawing, Gunny Show? Okay, yeah, that's all we need for that, for the apple. I think this one's good to go. Let's just look through all the sections. I had to actually totally recreate the top section because we had burned in the black with the orange. Okay, so that's good. I'm gonna mark that on the list. Okay, book 10 post-processing is done. The last two we need to do, book 13 and book 1. Book 1, there's a lot of design changes I want to make, as well as totally redoing the texturing. Book 13, I might want to change the artwork a little bit. I guess it doesn't really matter which one we do then. Alright, let's do book 13. Do any of these other ones still need post-processing? What does this one look like? Let's take a look. I gotta look on the computer because it's not downloaded yet on the iPad. Let's see, preview. Oh yeah, that one looks fine. Okay. That one's good to go. What does book 14 look like? Oops. Yeah, 14 looks fine. At a certain point, we just gotta say ship it. You know, it's some of this stuff is not gonna be. All of it's never gonna be at the level that we want. So we gotta just go for the most important ones. The ones that need the most help. So this is like a nice to have if we could change the pose of Neoptolemus a tiny bit. So first let's put this in the old folder. Where is that? Did I never have a duplicate version of this? There has to have been more than one. Fourteen, 3, 6, 2, 11. Wow, that's the only version of that we have. Did we like delete all of the... No. Oh, no, this is one of the earliest ones we did. So this is going to be one of those ones where I try to preserve all the layers. Yes. Oh, yeah, it definitely is that. Okay, so... So we're going to want to remake the... anything that has black in it, which is a few things.